Clerk Paul, can we call the committee hall to order, please?
Lennon.
Here.
Boywood.
Here.
Leisha.
Here.
Bates.
Here.
Pabon.
Here.
Ruiz. Arenella. Carmichael.
Here. Make a motion to
Excuse.
excuse Alderman Ruiz and Arenella.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Pabon to excuse Ruiz and Arenella. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, we have one item up on the agenda, and it's the presentation of the RISE grant and the results of the Economic Development Study. David Hallsberg, BDC Director.
Thank you, Mayor and members of council. With me this evening is Brett Michelson, representative from the Ryan Group, who conducted this study on our behalf. This was a result of a DCO grant that the BDC received on behalf of the city to take a look at economic development issues within the community and give a feedback report based off of community input. I'll ask Brett to step forward. The intent of this evening is to refresh you with what this document provides for, give you an opportunity over the next 2 weeks to give us comments back, and then come back with a final document before council just for acceptance. Brett?
Thanks, Dave. Mayor, Alderman, thank you for having me tonight. We do have a PowerPoint presentation. We also have copies of the Economic Recovery and Resiliency Plan. So I'll go through the PowerPoint. I don't know if go back and forth a little bit. Is it okay if I speak from here rather than from there? I didn't know if we were recording or if that's...
It's on the camera. If you can use the mic, Brett, it'd be easier. It gets picked up by the camera better.
Just see this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thanks, that's a little bit better. So a little bit of background. So many of you know me. I used to work for the BDC. I now work for Ryan LLC, which is a consulting firm. I was part of a smaller consulting firm called Kane McKenna & Associates. That was the city's TIF consultant. We were acquired by Ryan. Ryan is a broad economic development consulting firm. Our team that I'm on specializes in economic development and finance. So what we did is, with the help of the BDC and the Berwyn community, we put together this report that you have in front of you today. Really briefly, I want to go over a little history that kind of sets the stage for this report. So as far back as 2009, some of you may remember that year, the BDC and the city of Berwyn conducted a new resident survey. So that was put out to measure the impact of the Why Berwyn campaign and kind of better target marketing efforts of the community. Around 80 people responded to that, new residents only. We kind of stumbled upon that new resident survey back in 2018, and we decided to rerun that survey to all residents to kind of take the temperature of the community, see where the economic development priorities were. As part of that process, we also drafted a community strategic plan. There was a lengthy process involved with a lot of community outreach. That was slated for review in March of 2020. You all know what happened then. Unfortunately, that kind of got put on the back burner given the reality of the situation here in the community and across the world, really. So because of that, we didn't really have an opportunity to review that and adopt that in any sort of formal capacity. There were still economic development priorities that were identified. In 2022, there was an opportunity to apply for DCEO funds, as Dave mentioned, including this program called the RISE grant. So the RISE stands for Research in Illinois to Spur Economic Recovery. So functionally, it was a pass-through for ARPA dollars. We saw an opportunity to invest further in a new report. Economic conditions had changed here in the community and throughout the world. We wanted to know if the same resident sentiments still existed after that. So that's kind of a precursor to this plan and kind of what sets the stage for the presentation tonight. So I'm going to go through a high-level process. This is what we went through. The real crux of the RISE grant was community outreach. We wanted to produce a document that had recommendations, but really we wanted an engagement process. So in April of 2023, our team from Ryan met with the BDC staff. We had a discussion on goals and strategies. We had a discussion on key informants, people we could approach who were community leaders. From May 2023 to June 2023, we held key informant interviews. So functionally what that is we came up with a list of questions to ask key informants that was going to guide what ultimately became our resident survey. We wanted to know if the questions we were asking were the right questions or how to phrase things so that community residents would better be responsive to that. We got some really great feedback from a lot of people, and in August in 2023, we launched the bilingual English and Spanish survey to Berwyn community members. We actually also opened it up to business owners, not just Berwyn residents. We thought that was important specifically because we were asking questions related to the economic resiliency of the community and also the COVID-19 response and how that had impacted business here in the community. The reason we had such kind of a short time frame, one of the responses that we got for the survey was that people wish it would have been open longer, that could have done better, more canvassing. We had a short time frame. Basically, all the funds for the RISE grant had to be expended by February of this year. So we were kind of on a tight schedule. From September to October of 2023, the Ryan team assisted the BDC in participating in business roundtables and physical canvassing. We walked down the main commercial corridors, Roosevelt, Cermak, the Depot, to hand out flyers to business owners and encourage people to respond. In November of 2023, we also attended community meetings to show public survey results. So we had 3 separate community meetings where we shared the survey results with community members. They were attended by kind of a mixed bag, but we tried to do it at multiple times. One was on a weekday in the evening, one was Saturday during the day, and one was a weekday during the day. It wasn't incredibly attended, but we gave people the opportunity to review those survey responses and provide us with additional feedback. Now here we are in 2024, I should say, and we're looking to get feedback from City Council, from the mayor, from whoever else, on this report so we can incorporate those comments. I want to emphasize this is a draft, so this is still a working document. There are some recommendations in there. We're open to feedback and incorporating those. Any can be communicated to Dave or myself. I'll leave business cards as well. So the survey was to give community members the ability to voice concerns on what they would like to see in Berwyn, how things had changed economically. We physically distributed the survey to 1,900 Berwyn residents. We did that as a representative sample of Berwyn households. Survey was also promoted and made accessible via BDC social media and various marketing events. The e-blasts that the BDC put out were incredibly helpful, social media. The survey was only open for 8 weeks, as I mentioned, and we had 282 responses collected. Now, that's not as many as what we had in 2019, but it is far more than the 80 responses we had in 2008. Those survey responses, as we note, there are some kind of discrepancies in the survey results. We call those out in the report. We just want to be clear how the survey compares to Berwyn as a whole and the demographics here. So again, the survey is a touch point, a data point that we used, incorporated it as well as the key informant interviews and discussions with BDC staff and city staff to come up with this report. So from that survey and from the key informant interviews, we came up with 5 key themes. Now, these aren't neat key themes. These were not the only things that were expressed in the survey or our conversations with the key informants. These were just the things that came out the most in the survey responses. And we kind of packaged them together. The first, infrastructure and community cleanliness. Those aren't necessarily the same thing, but they have similar themes or they're related. That's why we packaged those into one. Community engagement was another. Economic development, and economic development is pretty broad. That's your business attraction and business retention primarily. Your housing was a major thing that came up, and video gaming and smoke shops. So some of these, as I'll mention, are themes that came up in the 2020 community strategic plan that we wrote, and some of them are a little bit new. Housing is a big one that people are really concerned with now. It's not necessarily a concern just for Berwyn, but it is a national trend, and people are beginning to think about it more locally as well. So I'll go through these very high level. Again, if you have questions at any time, I can kind of see everybody, but you can raise your hand or just shout out or whatever. Infrastructure, community cleanliness. Berwyn community members desired efforts to strengthen Berwyn's infrastructure as it relates to flow of goods, services, and people by improving transportation and overall cleanliness. So we grouped those kind of together. Cleanliness here was a catch-all, and that's more related to desire to remove trash and other debris. But there was a split. This wasn't necessarily Berwyn has trash and debris throughout. There were a few specific areas that were called out that residents just wanted to see some improvements. There are some recommendations to address that. Walkability is also a major concern, and this one was a little confusing to us because some people thought walkability was really great and some people thought walkability was terrible. From a walkability perspective, on walkability.com, Berwyn rates very high, and the reason for that is because there are supermarkets and basic needs accessible within a 5 to 10 minute walk for most residents, but people felt it wasn't necessarily an easy way to get around with the width of sidewalks and the number of pedestrian crossings, et cetera. So people had various opinions. Walkability was high, but they wanted better accessibility for that walkability. So recommendations for this theme, first was to engage PACE to share suggestions on improved local bus transportation. People wanted easier modes of transportation that were not just cars. People wanted to incentivize use of alternative modes of transportation, so your biking, your bus, improving that walkability, like I said, improve pedestrian crossings. As I'm sure everyone here in this room is aware, people wanted to talk to BNSF to discuss idle times for the trains. I'm sure everyone's been stuck behind one of those. Consider adding pocket parks to vacant land, add additional trash cans to major roadways, and enforce fines to properties with excessive littering and trash. And then another recommendation that somebody had that we thought we would incorporate into this is to do ward walks. And this may, if you already do this, this is just a recommendation that somebody had, monthly ward walks to clean up trash with residents. The next key theme is community engagement. So community members would favor better communication across city government, the BDC, businesses, and general public. As somebody who worked for the BDC and in conjunction with the city before, I know this is a constant effort that we try. Everyone always seeks improvement. And so community members had a lot of recommendations. They wanted to see more community events that involved community members in the planning process. Again, that's just the feedback we received. That is a holdover theme from 2020, that people wanted more events. People love the events that the city puts on, that the BDC puts on. They want more of that. They want to see more engagement. Some of the recommendations there were to update business address lists on the BDC webpage and increase accessibility. The BDC already keeps a chamber member list. So, we're kind of trying to figure out what they meant by that, but just make sure that that's up to date for community residents. Revamp the Berwyn mobile app, make it accessible for viewing businesses and other Berwyn news. Increase community events. We already do a lot in the community, but they wanted more. There was an emphasis, people really wanted events focused around families. Some of the feedback was that they're great parties, they bring in a lot of community members, but they want more family-oriented events. And hold joint small business promotions to increase business awareness. Somebody mentioned, a push during the holidays for some sort of shop local, which we do to an extent, but improving that a little bit for coordination between businesses. The next key theme was economic development. So economic development, that includes a wide catch-all. Business attraction, business retention, development of commercial corridors, strategy for empty storefronts. All of that are things that the BDC and the city have worked on, but we wanted to get additional feedback. That was also a 2020 community strategic plan focus area, but the kind of conditions on the ground have changed a little bit since 2020. So some of the recommendations there were more investment in the commercial corridors, which doesn't come as any sort of surprise. People focused on the Depot District, Saranac Road, and Ogden Avenue as the primary commercial drivers of the community. They wanted to see more investment there. People mentioned attracting anchor businesses in Berwyn to diversify the dining options was another big recommendation. But one thing that people really appreciated was the development of the Berwyn Shops and Sprout and the Berwyn Boutique. People thought those were really neat programs. They wanted to see more of that activity, more promotion of that. They thought that was awesome. A recommendation, and this is challenging because Berwyn has so many different commercial areas, was a dedicated downtown area or something that's designated that. People wanted a review of corridors for zoning changes. This is specifically related to housing, but also what businesses are permitted, and actually attracting more family-friendly businesses. The fourth key theme was housing. So overall, members of the community believed that the availability of housing was very good, but that the affordability of housing was not as good. So this theme came up several times. Cook County taxes is one of those drivers, but also people wanted to talk about the changing demographic profile of the community. You know, houses selling for more. There were plenty that go on the market, but maybe they weren't as affordable to all Berwyn residents. This was a newer key theme as compared to 2020. That's partially attributed to economic factors, partially attributed to COVID. There's a lot going on there, but people had some recommendations as to what the community might do. So the first was to analyze the state and national market housing trends to kind of bridge the gap of why Berwyn taxes and housing costs have increased, and whether or not that's a local thing or whether that's a regional thing or a national thing, and how Berwyn factors into that. Provide residents with clarity as to why taxes and housing costs are increasing. That's partially with the county, but they wanted additional help with understanding tax bills, that sort of thing. Work with city planning to focus on more affordable housing options. Create an affordable housing search tool on the BDC website to assist potential residents, and collaborate with developers to locate possible redevelopment areas for affordable housing. So focus on affordability there. And the final key theme was video gaming and smoke shops. Again, this was a repeat of something that came up in the 2020 strategic plan. Community members have seen the increase of video gaming and smoke shops as a growing concern. Many voiced their opposition to development of these businesses. Residents of Berwyn that we spoke to would rather see more family-friendly businesses, whatever that interpretation may be, in the community. They thought if they attracted more families with children, they wouldn't need as many of the video gaming and smoke shops. Some recommendations were to reduce the overall amount of video gaming establishments and smoke shops in the community. Another recommendation was to cap the number of permits granted, which I actually think the community already does, but we incorporated that as an also. Reevaluate the tax structure between gaming businesses and municipalities. This one was interesting. Functionally, people were saying, could we defer some of the tax revenue to specific uses? I'm not as familiar with how that's done at the city level, but provide additional clarity to the public about video gambling tax revenue and how it's spent. And then the final consideration was consider limiting areas where these establishments can do business within Berwyn. So that's a very high-level overview of what's in this report, though I do encourage everybody to read it and provide comments and questions to myself and Dave, but I'm happy to answer any questions right now.
Questions? No questions right now, Brett.
Okay, great, thank you.
Your phone number's on here in case they want to contact you or Dave?
My contact information is there, but I'll leave with Marsh.
Okay. Dave, did you have anything to sum it up?
No, we'll bring this back to you. We'll wait for some comments from all of you, incorporate those, and then we present this as a document before the city council just for acceptance. And then we would take further direction from the city on what, if anything, you'd like us to go ahead and start to look at on a more individual basis in terms of goals and objectives. Thank you.
I think a big pause is going to have to happen, though, because of all the redevelopment that's going on in the various areas, such as the Depot District. It's going to be rather difficult right now with the construction of the Depot District. We know Cermak Road in Harlem is going to be undergoing lane reconstruction. That's going to be cause of confusion. So some of the suggestions and/or results might be delayed based on the various constructions that will be coming up over the next year.
And we do have several properties that are coming up that, you know, are now going to be available within the community. So the biggest one will be the old Berwyn State Bank building at Oak Park and Windsor there. That goes to auction next month, and we're hearing folks interested in that property, so we'll have to see. That'll be the first one, I think, that will shed some light on interest in redevelopment within the community.
And we're still waiting on movement from the owners of the Comcast building, which is a nice piece of land there.
Yeah, the city owns the middle piece. That would give you 3 pieces in total together to then decide some direction on what the city would like to see developed there. But since you'll own it, you'll be in the driver's seat to be able to direct what you would like to have happen there.
I thought there was a contiguous ownership of those buildings, at least two of them.
No, they, on each opposite side was owned by Instituto Progresso. They owned it, and then the city was able to buy the one in the middle. So that's how it presently situates. Just from a formal sense, the outstanding issue right now is the city is identifying the various liens that it has on the property, and that will be the trigger to be able to hopefully waive the back taxes, which have accrued to over $800,000 to date. So we're working through those things so that we're not lumped with an additional bill at the end of the day. And I think, you know, you're going to hear us come back very shortly with another update on the vacancy survey. But what we are seeing as a result of the vacancy ordinance is that it is pushing some efforts now to get properties more occupied. So you're seeing that probably in coupled with the economy starting to improve more, that our vacancy rates are going down.
A lot's going to depend on the national election too as to what's going on.
Have
We got to be honest about that.
yeah, do we have any data anywhere on all the businesses that we have in the city and the category that they fall under? I think it would be nice to see where the abundance is, in which categories, and maybe put some moratoriums on those in order to give space for other businesses to come into the community.
We can do that. I'm sure the business licensing department could put something together for that. The only moratorium that is still in existence is on the hair salons and barber shops. We haven't done anything with smoke shops, but I will tell you, if you want to do something like that with video gaming, you guys already did it with the, well, one portion of the video gaming, but you're going to put a lot of businesses out. You'll have a lot of vacant buildings if you take it all away. I
Well,
guarantee.
I'd like to see where the abundance is, because I feel like I just met a loan officer, and they're opening an office, and I'm thinking, gosh, another mortgage broker in the community, do we really need it?
Berwyn is still a hot community with respect to real estate. The
It is.
inventory is what's lacking right now.
Right, but if we had a moratorium, we could leave those spaces available to bring in more wanted
What
businesses.
hurt was, when we did the rezoning, they got rid of the retail overlay district, and when they did that, that took away all those moratoriums. The only one that's existing was on the hair salons and barber shops. So the retail overlay, I think it was on Cermak and a couple other corridors, was very beneficial to us. But when CMAP redid the zoning, they wiped all that out. But that might be another start. We could consider that, doing some type of retail overlay again.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great start for discussions, and then take some community input after reviewing that, like where the areas are, what really fill those areas up, and then what the community's saying to kind of pair those up and make sense out of it all.
Sure. I'd like to see what we can, especially after we know we're nearing an end in the construction of the Depot District, I'd like to see what we can lure down there. There's some good businesses down there, but there's not enough.
Right.
And we don't really have that many vacancies in the depot. I mean,
No.
the big building, the bank building, stuff like that. So
Yeah, but I mean, there's nothing really, a lot of multiple businesses
Yeah.
for somebody for pedestrians to walk around. And that's one of the whole ideas with doing the Depot, the way we're doing it, is to provide the pedestrian walkway like we did on Roosevelt Road.
Right.
which-
Yeah, it's more services. you know.
Correct, right. Right. But yeah, we can think about that as we go forward. I'm just saying, it's gonna be a little slow roll simply because of everything we've got going on with the construction, and I don't wanna jump the gun on what we're saying should be going in these places when we don't know how it's gonna filter out.
Yeah, but conversations like that, I imagine, would take at least a year or two to even come up with a plan to say, this is how we're gonna move
Correct,
forward.
correct.
And that's basically our construction
Right.
timelines.
Yep,
So I think
Okay.
starting conversations, I mean, it's gonna take a minute for you to pull the data, no, Dave? Or get it from the business department and then kind of
yeah, a
compile
lot of
it
the
and make
data
sense out
from
of
the
it.
BDC and the business department is outdated too, because there's not a good track on businesses that have gone out. So when you get one list or the other, you have to filter through it, so we can do that.
Sounds like 3 months right there to me.
Depends on who's doing it, right? Could be 6 months.
Yeah, that too.
Thank you. Anything else? All right, thank you, gentlemen. I have nothing else for the open committee of the whole. Marge, did you have something?
No?
Oh, okay. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Ruiz by Lennon, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
I'm just looking at it right now. Thank you for providing this. Okay. Oh, these are the other ones? The ones I missed. Okay. Okay, I'll look at them during the break. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, ma'am.
are you almost all wrapped up? What do you got left for school?
I'm sorry?
What do you got left for school?
One class that I'm not interested in, that I didn't enroll for. Kind of lost my fire.
One class
I know, you're like the 20th person.
you up?
You're like the 20th person, like, woman, are you insane?
You're all the way there?
I know, I just have to get some
Well, those Victorians are old.
Yes.
Some are not.
Yeah.
I think
We didn't have town homes and things like that. We didn't have
we have the old Berwyn State Bank building because housing.
It has to be mixed use.
I think that would be, yeah, the first floor you do is commercial.
It has to be mixed use because that's gonna jumpstart.
that corner, yeah.
No, but I think when you then look at, let's say, you have to do all that, have to sit down and decide what you want to do with the standing factors. And what do you want? Do you want the market to tell us what it should be, or do you want to influence the market and say this is what we want?
No, we wanna influence the market, so this is what we want.
And so then you have to use, well, for the next city council board, is going to have to come together and say, this is what we want.
Well, I think the key thing there is really, if we're gonna sustain the business, attractions, we need more density of a different type. Like.
We need mixed use in that area because we want people that go there to rent
Yep.
and to shop there and to spend money and then to go over to serve that off, whatever. That's what we need, because if you just make it all businesses, a lot of other people want to go from the outside too.
Yep. So we need more people.
Well,
And
we're not just people who just sort of income.
Well, yeah, because.
Well, you need a mixture,
Yeah.
right? So you need people who are gonna be able to have those that. You need competition.
You wouldn't want to go ahead and take that kind of piece of property and do a 100%
No, no, no. It needs to be mixed market.
I mean,
yeah, that wasn't.
it's clean, it's nicer, but it's trash. No, it never,
And you got a lot of calls coming in.
it's the same people who got in. So,
Really?
You got a lot of.
then you get like.
Hey, Bob. How many calls when you were on duty did you end up seeing frequent flyers at your
Back in the day.
No, now.
Oh, now? Not that much. We still have a few issues there, but nothing like it was.
Oh, before it was four.
Oh, yeah, now it's,
Yeah, no, I always make sure. Well, they can.
You want to say something? So that's part of what I was trying to say.
2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
Clerk Paul, can we call the council meeting to order?
Lennon.
Here.
Roywood.
Here.
Leisure.
Here.
Bate.
Here.
Pabon.
Here.
Ruiz.
Here.
Aaronella. Carmichael.
Here.
7 present, Mayor.
I'd like to make a motion to excuse Alderman Arenella's absence.
Second.
Motion by Ruiz, second by Carmichael, to excuse Alderman Aaronella. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. We all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and please remain standing.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please keep in our thoughts and prayers the family of Luz Elena Pena, the mother of Administrative Manager Gilbert Pena, and grandmother of Assistant Business Licensing Officer Amanda Pena. The family of George Heineke, a retired Berwyn police officer. The family of Dorothy Wilega, who's the mother of our zoning board member Doug Wilega. And the family of Glenn Mahalik, who's the father of our battalion chief Jim Mahalik, who have all recently passed, as well as all the men and women we have on the streets tonight. Thank you. Does anybody from the audience wish to address the open forum? Please step forward, state your name and address. Mary?
Evening. I'm Mary Havis, the superintendent from Berwyn South District 100. I just want to thank you for your consideration of a proposal submitted by Chief Simaglia to reroute the traffic pattern around Irving at the drop-off and pickup time. The staff have noted some unsafe conditions with kids getting dropped off on both sides of the street and running between cars, and have tried some different strategies, but it isn't getting any better, which prompted this proposal. So we thank the police department and the city officials for working with us on this plan, and thank you for your consideration of that tonight.
Thank you, Mary. Anybody else from the audience? Yadi, did you have anything tonight? No? Okay. Alderman, anything for open forum? Okay, hearing none. Item C1, please.
Item C1 are the minutes of the regular city council meeting held on December 26, 2023.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular city council meeting minutes of December 26, 2023.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, second by Roywood, to approve the city council minutes of December 26, 2023. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item E1, please.
Item E1 is a submission from the Berwyn Development Corporation and a resolution to close Route Ogden Avenue for the Route 66 car show, along with other events, and they're seeking approval.
I will make a motion to approve the 2024 BDC special events.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Roywood to approve the 2024 BDC special events. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. We have a secondary motion, Alderman.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution to close Ogden Avenue for Route 66 car show, affix necessary signatures, and send it on its way to passage.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Roywood to approve the resolution for the Route 66 car show closing Ogden Avenue, affix the necessary signatures, and place on its way to passage. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item G1, please.
G1 is a submission from the clerk, minutes for the public hearing of December 21st on the proposed appropriation ordinance for fiscal year 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes and the proposed appropriation ordinance for fiscal year 2024.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Carmichael to approve the minutes for the proposed appropriation ordinance for fiscal year 2024. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item I1, please.
I1 is a communication from the Fire and Police Commission introducing the next firefighter paramedic, Fabiola Amakua.
I move that we accept this communication from the Fire and Police Commission certifying Fabiola Amakua as the next eligible candidate on the entry-level eligibility list with the effective start date of January 17, 2024 as informational.
Second.
Motion by Leja, seconded by Pabon, to consider the communication from the Police and Fire Commissioner introducing Fabiola Azacuma as the next eligible candidate starting on January 17th for our Berwyn Fire Department. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item I2, please.
I2 is a communication from Alderman Leja regarding minutes for the July 5th, 2023 Police and Fire Aldermanic Committee.
I move that the council accept my communication regarding the Fire and Police Committee meeting of July 5, 2023 as informational.
Second.
Motion by Leja, seconded by Roywood, to consider the communication for Alderman Leja from the Fire and Police Committee meeting minutes as informational. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item I3, please.
I3 is a communication from Alderman Carmichael submitting the minutes of the meeting of July 17th, 2023 for the Aldermanic Outreach and Communication Committee.
It would be my motion to accept the Aldermanic Committee meeting minutes as informational.
Second.
Motion by Carmichael, seconded by Lennon, to consider the minutes from the Outreach Committee as informational. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item I4, please.
Item I4 is the deferred item J1 from the December 26, 2023 agenda.
Be my motion to defer generally.
Second.
Motion by Fate, seconded by Lennon, to defer generally. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item J1, please.
J1 is communication from City Attorney Bertuca seeking authorization to settle 23L011276.
Be my motion to concur with City Attorney Bertuca and settle case 2023L011276 in the amount of $40,000 based on the executive session.
Second.
Motion by Fate, seconded by Carmichael, to approve the communication and settlement of the captioned case in the amount of $40,000 is based on City Council executive session approval. All those in favor on the call of the roll?
Lennon?
Aye.
Woodward?
Aye.
Leisure?
Aye.
Fate?
Aye.
Pabon?
Aye.
Ruiz?
I wasn't present for the meeting, so I'll abstain.
One abstention. Carmichael?
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 abstention.
Motion carried. Item J2, please.
Item J2 is a communication from City Attorney Bertuca with an ordinance that reads, an ordinance regarding the Cook County paid leave ordinance for the City of Berwyn, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Be
If
my
you might-
motion.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead, you started.
Be my motion to concur with City Attorney Bertuca and
Oh,
approve
sorry,
the
I was on the wrong agenda item. Go right ahead.
ordinance regarding the Cook County paid leave ordinance for the City of Berwyn, County of Cook, State of Illinois. They have the proper authorities fix necessary signatures and place it on its way to passage.
Second.
Motion by Fate, seconded by Carmichael, to adopt the ordinance regarding the Cook County paid leave ordinance, affix the necessary signatures, and place on its way to passage. All those in favor on the call of the roll.
Lennon.
Aye.
Roywood.
Aye.
Leisure.
Aye.
Fate.
Aye.
Pabon.
Aye.
Ruiz.
Aye.
Carmichael.
Aye.
7 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carried. Item J3, please.
J3 is a communication from Police Chief Semiglia requesting permission to promote one patrol officer to the rank of sergeant.
I move that we concur with Police Chief Samaglia's request to contact the Fire and Police Commission to promote one patrol officer to the civil service rank of sergeant from the Commissioner's current eligibility list due to the retirement of Watch Commander Sergeant Thomas Boyovic on January 4, 2024.
Second.
Motion by Leja, seconded by Fate, to concur with Chief Semaglia and allow him to contact the Police and Fire Commission to promote the next eligible candidate from the list due to the retirement of Watch Commander Sergeant Thomas Bojovic. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item J4, please.
J4 is a communication from Chief Semiglia regarding revenue collections from December 23rd regarding the parking division.
I move that we accept this communication from Police Chief Semaglia in regards to the revenue collections from December 2023 as informational.
Second.
Motion by Leja, seconded by Roywood, to consider the communication as informational. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. J5, please.
J5 is a communication from Chief Semaglia regarding a traffic plan around Irving School to alleviate congestion.
I will make a motion to accept this as informational.
Second.
I don't think we need to approve it because you've set it out as the chief. Okay. Motion to accept as informational by Lennon, seconded by Pabon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item J6, please.
J6 is a communication from Public Works Director Schiller announcing a financial award from Cook County to enhance Berwyn's flood mitigation program.
It'd be my motion to accept Director Schiller's communication as information that the city of Berwyn has secured $500,000 from Cook County to supplement our current flood mitigation grant reimbursement program.
Second.
Motion by Ruiz, seconded by Pabon, to consider informational the communication from Director Schiller announcing that the city of Berwyn has secured $500,000 from Cook County to supplement our current flood mitigation grant reimbursement program. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item J7, please.
J7 is a communication from Director Schiller requesting approval of pay estimate number 5, 2023 motor fuel tax for roadway resurfacing.
It'd be my motion to approve Director Schiller's communication. Staff concurs with Novotny's Engineering and recommend approval of pay estimate number 5 for the 2023 MFT roadway resurfacing program to Lindo Brothers, Inc. in the amount of $195,269.12.
Second.
Motion by Ruiz, seconded by Pabon, to concur with Director Schiller and approve the pay estimate number 5 for the 2023 MFT resurfacing program to Lindo Brothers, Inc. in the amount of $195,269.12. All those in favor on the call of the roll.
Lennon.
Aye.
Roywood.
Aye.
Leisure.
Aye.
Fate.
Aye.
Pabon.
Aye.
Ruiz.
Aye.
Carmichael.
Aye.
7 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carried. The consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Carmichael to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Aldermanic committee meetings. Alderman Lennon.
Call it, Chair.
Alderman Roywood.
Call the chair.
Alderman Leisure.
Call of the chair.
Alderman Fate.
Call it, chair.
Alderman Pabon.
Call the chair.
Alderman Ruiz.
We had to reschedule our Public Works meeting that was originally dated for today for our next council date of, January 23rd, 1 hour before COW.
Alderman Carmichael.
Call the chair. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion adjourned by Carmichael, seconded by Lennon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.